Hey everyone, today I'm going to show you how to make cowboy butter steak bites with mashed potatoes, so let's get started with the video. We're going to begin by making the mashed potatoes. First, peel 4 russet potatoes and cut them into pieces. Then place the potatoes in a large pot and add water and 1 teaspoon of salt. Then bring the water to a boil. Boil the potatoes for 10 minutes. You'll know they're done cooking when you can pierce them with a fork. Next, drain the water from the pot and mash the potatoes. Cream the potato through a strainer to get rid of any lumps. You can also use a potato ricer. Once you mash the potatoes, mix in 4 tablespoons of butter. Next, in a saucepan, add 1 cup of heavy cream, 2 sprigs of rosemary, and 2 cloves of garlic. Mix everything together and then let it simmer over low heat for about 5 minutes or until fragrant. Then gradually pour the cream in the pot through a fine mesh strainer. Then fold the cream into the potatoes. Once you've added all the cream, mix in 2 ounces of cream cheese, a 1/4 cup of sour cream, a 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. When you're finished making your mashed potatoes, set them to the side. Now we're going to prepare the steak bites. First, pat the steak dry with a paper towel. The steak I'm using for this recipe is an Angus beef strip steak, but you can use whatever type of steak you want. Next, cut the fat off the steak. Once you finish cutting off the fat, cut the steak into bite-sized pieces. When you're finished, place the cut-up steak in a bowl. Then add 1 tablespoon of olive oil, a 1/2 teaspoon of seasoned salt, a 1/2 teaspoon of pepper, a 1/2 teaspoon of Kinder's sweet heat seasoning, a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, and 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. Now mix everything together until the pieces of steak are completely coated in the seasonings. When you're finished, you can begin cooking the steak. In a large pan over medium-high heat, add olive oil. Then add half the pieces of steak in the pan. The reason we're only adding half is because we're going to cook the pieces of steak in batches so we don't overcrowd the pan. Once you've added the steak in the pan, sear the pieces of steak for 1 to 2 minutes on each side. When you're finished cooking the steak bites, remove them from the pan and set them to the side. Repeat this process with the rest of the pieces of steak. Next, lower the heat and add 1 stick of butter in the pan. While the butter is melting, use a spatula to deglaze the pan. Once the butter is completely melted, add 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, 1 tablespoon of freshly chopped parsley, 1 tablespoon of freshly chopped chives, half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes, half a teaspoon of paprika, and a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. Then mix everything together until well combined. When you're finished making the cowboy butter, add the steak bites back into the pan. Toss the steak bites in the cowboy butter for around 1 to 2 minutes. And that's it. Now all you have to do is plate it up. First, add the mashed potatoes onto a plate. Then add the steak bites on top of the mashed potatoes. Next, add any leftover cowboy butter on top of the steak. And finally, sprinkle some parsley on top as well. And this is the finished result! These cowboy butter steak bites were absolutely delicious. The steak bites were cooked perfectly, they were very flavorful and well seasoned. The mashed potatoes were also really good, they were creamy and paired with the steak bites perfectly. This is a great recipe for dinner, I totally recommend it. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Everything I used in this video will be down in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye!